We thought it was going to be just another peaceful day at anchor. Our fridges stopped working. The lights still worked, so at first we thought it wasn't too serious. Until we tried the windlass. Nothing. Our anchor was sitting firmly on the seabed, and we had no way to lift it electrically. The next morning we had to pull our 35-kilo anchor by hand. Welcome to sailing Sofia with Tui and Max. Before all of this happened, we'd been enjoying a few quiet days at anchor near Lygia. Then we continue our journey south. There wasn't much wind that day, but we hoped we might find enough to sail. After trying for a moment, we gave up and motored on. And we have no wind now. Along the way, we passed several beautiful bays, but they were absolutely packed. That's the mountain from Palermo. So we continue into the Bay of Palermo, and then we arrived in Pogonia. It felt completely different, quiet, simple, peaceful. We anchored once again near the little fishing harbor, just as we had done before. It was exactly what we needed. We took a walk through this modern holiday village. We strolled through the quiet streets with nice view over the mountain of Palermo, where only the cricket song breaks the calmness. There are some tavernas, but no supermarket. Then we reached Potamaki Beach, which is also very crowded. But most of the people coming here with cars. After a nice cold drinks, we went back to the fisher port, where we left our dinghy. After 2 days in Pogonia, the wind finally looked favorable. Bye. We raised both sails, and with 9 knots of wind, Sofia could make 3 knots of speed over ground. Then we had to make a few tacks, but honestly we didn't mind. We had an average 10 knots of wind, and Sofia can make 3.6 knots of speed over ground. It felt wonderful to finally have Sofia moving through water under sail again. And soon we arrived in Mytikas and let our anchor fall, right at the place we anchored before we left to solve our phone problem. We were always satisfied to see how firmly our anchor hold to the seabed, without knowing that we will have to pull it up by hand a few days later. By now it was the middle of summer, and some days the heat was almost unbearable. Normally our 12-volt ventilator is enough to make life on board a little more comfortable. But that day it simply wasn't doing the job. So I brought out our bigger ventilator, which needed 220 volts. We switched the inverter. We heard a strange sound, then silence. Something had gone wrong. We noticed that the fridges had stopped working, but the lights were still on. We tried the windlass. Nothing. And suddenly we could see that our whole electrical system was dead. But we didn't know how to fix it ourselves. We must get Sofia to a place where we can find an electrician. And yet our anchor sit firmly on the seabed. We had no choice. Without the windlass, we have to lift the anchor by hand. We had 30-meter chain out that day, and our anchor weighed 35 kilos. Max pulled 10 first meters, and then my turn to pull the next 10 meters. Then came the last section. The anchor was holding firmly on the seabed, and the 10 final meters must be brought up with the winch. While working, we have to watch out on other boats, because our anchor could break free anytime. Max had to dive down and attach a rope to the chain as close to the anchor as possible, and the other end of the rope come to the winch in the cockpit. The water was not crystal clear, so he didn't succeed with the first try. After the second attempt, Max could put the rope on the chain. Again, we took turns to winch the anchor up. We must alternately winch and then pull the chain, and repeated it several times. The 10 last meters of chain came up slowly, but the anchor was still stuck in the ground. Max motored backward, and I continued to winch. Finally, the anchor broke free, even though we didn't bring it yet completely up. For more safety while working, we keep distance between us and the other boat. We motored out of the bay before we continue our work. I continued to winch for a while, and the anchor is there, hanging under the bow roller, but it couldn't come up, as the chain and the rope tangled to each other. Max let the anchor a little bit down, but it didn't really help. He used another rope to hang the anchor on the pulpit and take the pressure out of the chain. We put the snubber line again to secure the chain before we untangle the rope. Then it was reattached nicely to the chain. Then Max untied the second rope on one side. Then we can bring up the anchor completely. The last thing is to secure the anchor to the bow. It was exhausting, but eventually we succeed to recover our anchor. We motored away, Our destination is Lefkas Marina, where we get a berth and someone who could help us. While I was at the helm, Max put out the fenders and prepared the lines. And we arrived at the marina. The marinero guided us to our berth. And the maneuver was quite relaxing. Finally, Sofia was at the dock. We thought the worst part was over, but it wasn't. The next day, an electrician came to investigate. Finally, we learned that the inverter had blown our battery protector. A more capable replacement part had to be ordered, and it could take 2 weeks to arrive. That meant Sofia was stuck at the dock, and every day at the marina was costing us money. This is one of the less glamorous sides of living on a sailboat. The photos may show beautiful days, perfect sunsets, and peaceful mornings. But behind those moments are repairs, unexpected problems, physical works, and sometimes expenses we never planned for. But that's sailing. You never really know what morning will bring. And for now, we could only wait for the part to arrive. Are we going to stay so long at the dock? Subscribe and come on board. And don't forget to like and share. That helps us a lot. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.